Hi there, this is VEDA, April 12th, and I want to talk about physical education. Not quite in a sense that I've done before with workout in particular, but it's just, it is going to be a little touchy, but I'm going to use me more in this case in the school system. Uh, okay, so kindergarten, I think it was every other day, I don't quite remember. First grade was every other day, second grade was the same thing, and then it was every day, third through fifth grade, sixth and seventh, ninth and 10th grades for me in grade school. And in PE was different things like running, jumping jacks, jump rope for heart. This is elementary school, by the way. Some basketball, newcomb, kind of like volleyball, but you gotta catch the ball, you're out. Top gun, one of those you gotta throw the softball at somebody and it hits them, they're out. If you throw it, someone catches it, you're out. Pretty funny. um, Let's see, in Top Gun, the last two win, official win, which happened to me once, I remember. And we had to do, what's it called, run a mile sort of thing. Um, and I didn't always like it back then, but I really started to like running. Well, not all the time, I think, but I did do the fun run there through the fifth grade, which I really liked because it was interesting and it was a fun activity for me. I've always liked running. I didn't always like, okay, look at my knee sore or something, but I still had a mild knee issue back then, and I did get this off, so it's all good. Still tries to get it now, but anyways, I try to be careful with that, as I said before. But that's back to my third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade PE days. Sixth and seventh grade, we did things in units like swimming, yes, in December. Basketball, volleyball, running, what else was it? Softball. So we did different units of PE activities in junior high. And then, as I mentioned before in my dance video, I did that in 9th and 10th grade at high school, um, which I love because of dancing and stretching and learnable academic. Um, and then, as I mentioned before, I did do PE at my community college, water aerobics and fitness swimming, so I have talked about that. That was my college PE days. Um, and then since then, I've sailed PE quite a bit, um, and elementary, middle school, and high school. And it was very interesting, especially when you're able to work out on the job. Like when you're teaching them certain PE skills, and they gotta go along with it. Um, in elementary ones I've done, we've played things like Steal the Bacon, Arnold Says, it's like Simon Says, but Arnold Schwarzenegger. And fitness videos that we show the kids and do my own stretching. Well, one day in particular I did and coached it in mine. And Ada's wife. Pretty funny, but it was cool with me doing something different with them when it comes to my stretching and show me a few other things, and that was no big deal. And then steal the back end. They used a squeeze pig where I subbed at, and two kids had to run to steal it and tag the other one out, something like that. Um, and then just do different games and another elementary level. Um, Middle school PE that I remember doing it was like the units, like cup stacking. So that was kind of different. Learn to stack cups. I've even seen media competitions of that. So it was really interesting, cup stacking over the world. And then things like basketball, and I've done a few hoops with them. Um, Running was one of them, and I even ran with them a little bit when the coach returned at the end of the day, who I had sub for, and it was good because I got a little stress relief, and I also had an exam that evening that really worked out, and I did pass with an A. um, and I'm trying to think what else, but it just depended on the activities for the day and stuff. And then I did high school PE quite a few times, and we did different activities. I think one of the times I did it, we were running and I ran a little bit with them on track with the school. I still kept an eye on them while running and while subbing. And then it was just different because, sorry, my contacts are bothering me, but anyway. And so it was really interesting because you feel like you exercise while you're on the job and you don't have to worry about it quite so much. If you can work out more, or if you just choose to relax at the end of the day, that kind of thing. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the most thing I did was 7 regular classrooms, which I really like because I want to be regular teacher and or regular ed. And during the conference time, when the students had to go to PE, I had also loved it because they got to get their energy off, and they got to use that time not to worry about their academics, and they would come back to class. A lot of them be a little calmer. They'd be more able to sit still, and I really loved it when I got to do that. That was, excuse me. Okay, I don't want to do that on here, but that's just the way it was. And I also liked it when the junior high kids did it too, because they got to come back sitting still a little more and they seemed a little more behaved. So that was really, really good. And I know this gets a bit touchy, but so if you want to leave me comments down or if you have anything to say, just please do it. All I'm going to say is I really advocate for PE to still be in the school systems because it's very healthy for the students, and as I said, they don't have to sit at desks all day, and it's fun for them, and it takes their mind off of their schoolwork, especially with more going on these days. It's not quite a joke. I never did do athletics in the schools, which I at one point did regret, but I realized it was what it was. And it was so time consuming. It was very funny. People told me. But I had friends who went to athletics and they really liked it, but they said it was a lot of work. And they had to constantly do the schooling around it, and they just don't really have time for like life. My childhood best friend was in band and was in swimming. Wow, but it was what it was. She really loved it. She was constantly active. And in high school, some people used band as their PE because they were marching and stuff, whereas some people used band as their fine arts. So then they did swimming for PE like my childhood best friend did. So that's really the cool part of that. And one of my classmates in the orchestra, she did that, and the dance and drill team at the same time. Which the drill team I wanted to do, but I didn't think I'd make it. It was time consuming. I just didn't bother. Because it's kind of like your life other than schooling. So that's just what it was. And it's also a good way to, when you do PE and stuff, it is a good way to figure out yourself. And when you have those units like that, like when I witnessed the junior high as a student and somewhat as a sub when I did them, it really was different because when I did sub the athletics, it was awesome because those kids wanted to be there. Let's put it that way. So those classes were good because they really liked it. And I've seen them do the little weights and enjoy their running. I don't think I ever did anything that I can recall. But I do remember I never did separate dance either, unfortunately. I wish I could. Anyway, there's another thing I remember about. Okay. At an intermediate school, it was another sub day where I had a sub and then I had an exam, so they got with PE. And they had time their scores when they were doing the laps for their athletics. And in the morning it was kind of difficult, and it was freezing out there, and let's just put it this way, several students threw up because I guess they just couldn't handle the cold or something. I don't know, and it was April, several years ago. But that's just, I guess that's what happens when you start in cold weather and it makes you sick or something for a bit. But that was that case. But I did enjoy wearing wingtits to work with a sweatshirt, especially when in regular class you have to wear slacks and a shirt. So, not that it's bad. I'm just saying it was different. Let's put it that way. But I like stepping out of the way. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because that's my experience of the advocacy for PE in the systems, and it's also something I feel like students need for their minds and their bodies, and also to keep them not always constantly come with academic work. So if you have any ideas or suggestions or comments, just let me know. Any criticism I'll take, because I'm not trying to argue over this. I'm just talking about me advocating for physical education. And I did study something like that at one time, and I consider PE teacher myself. But I feel like regular classroom is one of my things for actual teaching, but I like exercise on the side, and I start to labor, and I also but I think PE is fun. I mean, it's something kids like, and it's something coaches really like, and it's a wonderful way to keep them going, active, and in that when they start active real young, a lot of times they stick with it. Well, not everybody, but statistically shown that when kids start young as active, they usually continue a long time. That's just statistics. So I'm not basing it on everybody, but anyway. So I know this video was kind of long today, but I just wanted to talk about how I feel about physical education and how I really advocated and how I've enjoyed it as a student and as a sub, and that uh, for everybody who's very active, I admire you guys. Somebody admired me today for being active at the gym, so that makes me feel really good. Um, and I will have some interesting more topics down the road about a few other different classes and other workout videos, blogs that I say I do involving other various workouts that I do from time to time. Anyways, I know it is getting late, and I got a lot to do, so I will see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.